Whenever I talk to people about law school, one of the questions that comes up is, man, it's a lot of reading though. I heard it's a lot of reading. Well, there is truth to that. But let me kind of go into detail a little bit more about it. I've never been a big reader, okay? I like to take in information visually. I watch a lot of documentaries, listen to a lot of podcasts. I wish podcasts was a medium that was around when I was coming up, right? Because I would have took that much more information in. But reading, like anything else, is still a fundamental critical skill. So it was definitely a thing I was nervous about. It was something a lot of my classmates was nervous about. And also, times are changing, and studies have shown that as technology keeps advancing, a lot of people's attention span gets smaller and smaller and smaller. So that plays into, people having difficulty reading as well for long periods of time. But with all that being said, right, I am that person who wasn't looking forward to reading or writing a lot of papers and things like that. But I was able to go to law school, do well in law school, finish, pass the bar on the first time, all of those things, right? The way the reading is set up in law school is you're reading cases, okay? You're reading cases. So a way to explain a legal concept, they don't just give you a definition. So let's say you're in criminal law and they're explaining to you what burglary is, right? The common law, don't get caught up in the term common law, but the definition of burglary, common law is breaking and entering of a dwelling house at night with the intent to commit a felony therein, right? There's a lot of parts to what I just said. So to break down each one of those parts, breaking, you're going to read a case that talks about the main part or the main issue in that is, did that person break in? Dwelling house, right? You'll read another case about, okay, somebody broke in, but was it a dwelling house? Was the house occupied? Was it a business? Does that make it burglary if it wasn't? So you read cases as a way of explaining and understanding the definitions, right? And those cases are interesting. And that gets you through the reading. And some cases are 5-6 pages long. Some cases are longer, like 10 pages, 15 pages. But it's all part of trying to explain a concept. So it's goal-oriented. You're not just reading 100 pages straight up of a English novel, right, and then talking about it. It's not like that. You're reading for a specific subject in a specific case. So let's say you have property law class and you have contracts class, right? And you have homework for each one of those classes. And that homework is reading cases on a particular subject. You might have to read 5 or 6 cases, okay? But as you break it down and you read each one of those cases, it gets interesting. You get into it, right? It's like understanding a little short story. And then you go to the next one, you go to the next one. And before you know it, you've done. You've read 40 pages without you even realizing it because you read 6 cases. And then you go to your contracts homework and you read 4 or 5 cases on a particular subject. And then you come back the next day and discuss the cases you read. So yes, you end up reading a lot, but the way it breaks down is given to you in small bits to help you understand a concept. And then you don't even realize how much you've ended up reading. So it's not the scariest thing in the world, the amount of reading that occurs in law school. It's just consistent, right? It's day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, day out. You look up, you read 150, 200 pages, 300 pages, right? But it's broken down into small bits every day, every day, every day, and then on the weekend. A lot of people do most of their reading on a weekend as a way to having more time to do other little things that come up during the week and focus on the small important things. But everybody has a different flow. But long story short, the reading is definitely manageable. If somebody like me who's not an avid reader was able to do it successfully, anybody can. Anybody can. I promise.